Hi there, Johnny here from johnnylipsonstudios.co.uk, and in today's video we're going to take a look at the brand new add-ons for the Phat Channel XT, which are primarily also available on the StudioLive Series 3 mixers in the Phat Channel installation there. And these were launched just yesterday, which would be May 8th, 2018. And they are very cool. I've had a few days to play with these before they were launched. And they are very, very cool, giving you a whole bunch of new kind of flavors and characteristics and warmth and all sorts of other things that you can add to your sound, both if you're a live sound guy and you wanted to add some analog flavor and analog vibe to your live mixing. These are perfect for that. But also if you're recording a live show, these are just as good because you can use LA2As, Phat compressors. We've been able to use those for a little while, but now you've got a whole bunch of other compressors and other EQs that you can get your hands on and get some different flavors and some different tones and some different colors and that kind of thing into your palette, just via the one plugin, the Phat Channel plugin. So this is very, very cool for both Studio One and for the StudioLive Series 3 mixers. So even if you don't have a StudioLive Series 3 mixer, you are able to still go and get these plugins. You can get them from the Persona shop. You just have to make sure you get the plugin and not the DSP download for the mixer, because you don't want that because you don't have a mixer. So make sure you get the right one. Make sure you're careful about which download you select. Okay, with that said, let's get into this, and this video basically is just going to be a quick overview look at what you get, and over the next several subsequent videos that I will do, I will take you through each one of the compressors and each one of the EQs, and we'll take a look at what you can do with them and what kind of sounds you can get with them, so you get some idea of what they do and whether you might like them or not. Alright, so this is what the standard compressor looked like before the days of the addition of the tube and Phat compressor. And this is what the EQ looked like if I had it set in standard, which I didn't. I do now. So this is what it used to look like. And then of course we get the passive and the vintage EQs. Those were added a little while ago now. But now, as you can see, I've got all of these other options. So I'm going to come and look at the EQs in just a minute. But we'll start with the compressors, for no other reason other than it's the one that's in the middle. Okay, so let's take a look at what we get. So we get the tube and the Phat compressors. Those are already available and free and have been for a while. So let's first of all go through the options that you get that are free and at no cost. So let's look at those. So you get the RC500 compressor. You also get the RC500 EQ. So basically the channel strip collection, channel strips, excuse me, that were launched I think 2 or 3 years ago now, are now available for the Phat Channel in Studio One and on the mixer, which means you can use the RC500 straight on your desk, which is great, because then that means, you know, you bring your capture session into Studio One and the the RC500, the settings that you used on the recording are going to be right there ready for you to tweak and adjust on your mixing. So that is extremely cool. So we get attack and release and a threshold and a makeup knob. Really simple compressor to use. Sounds great. You also get the VT1 compressor and you get the VT1 EQ as well. We'll look at those in just a minute. And again, this comes from the channel strip collection. Now, I know a few people, quite a few people bought the channel strip collections, and you may be a little bit kind of disappointed that now that they are freely available in the Phat Channel XT, when you paid money for the channel strip collection. Well, you see, the thing is that the VT1 and the RC500 are now available for StudioLive mixer users to actually use on the board. So it's not just about, oh, now they're free inside Studio One, but they're also on the board, that's the thing that's different, and that's the thing that's unique here. So that's a point not to be missed, I think. But I'm not going to label that too much. So we get we get attack and release here, fast, slow, and a threshold ratio variable from 1 to 4 to 1, and your makeup gain. And you also get a high pass filter. Let's see what else we get. So those are the 2 free ones. Let's go and take a look at the paid for ones. These are all $80 each, or you can get the whole lot, which is I think about $500, something like that. So, but you get a lot. You really do get a lot of different units, classic units that are modeled here using Presonus's pioneering state space modeling. So we get here the Brit compressor, nice and easy. You can set the release to auto if you want, and you get a relatively fast attack selection here, 0.1 all the way around to 30 milliseconds, so it's pretty quick. And then you get a 2 or a 4 or a 10 on the ratio, so just a 3 selector ratio here rather than a sweepable ratio. And your threshold plus minus 20, and your makeup gain, and the key filter. Okay, now we get this classic compressor, which is very, very nice indeed. 1.5 to 1 to 6 to 1. And then we get this kind of fixed, notched recovery time. 100 to, looks like, I can't really read very clearly what that is, but that kind of looks like 2 seconds. 1 second, 2 seconds. 100 milliseconds up to like 2 seconds. Then you get a gain and threshold. And so that's pretty cool. Recovery time, no, so this is kind of like your release, but I think this has got a fixed attack, is what this has. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Comp 160, which is a little bit like the DBX 160. And here's your threshold knob over here, compression amount from 1 all the way around to 20 or into infinity, and then your output gain for makeup gain. This is very, very cool. This is a classic compressor limiter, which sounds great if you use this on drums. It really does. It's awesome. I used this a few times on drums for a couple of tracks, and it really does sound fantastic. It does something really great to your audio. Adds some nice tone colors, and you can really slam this. You can really slam this in parallel, and it makes your drums really, really come to life. So this is a good recommendation, really, for drums in particular, but I would use this on quite a few different sources. Next is the Everest C100A. This is a pretty simple compressor to use. You have your gain reduction knob and your makeup gain, a little bit like an LA2 in that respect, and a select. It's basically fast or slow, attack and release. You don't really get it's not variable, it's just one or the other. And you get the key filter. And this is cool, simple, straightforward. You can dial it in quickly. Then you get the FC670. I like this one. You have fixed time constraints, constants they call them here. And this is kind of like a attack and release profile set to each one of these 1 to 6 notches here, which reminds me a little bit of the Klanghelm Mu compressor. If you've got the MUJC compressor, this reminds me of the Mark 1 a little bit. This compressor does. And then you've got your threshold 0 to 10. This is very cool. I like this. Again, you can dial it in very sweetly and quickly. And we've already looked at the RC500, so the next one after that would be this tube compressor, the Tube P1B. And you have your sweepable ratio 2 to 1 through to 10, and your threshold. And then you've got this attack release knob here, which you can either set it to manual, fixed manual, or hang on if I can get it to go round. Come on, go round. Go round. I think my mouse is maybe running out of battery. I can't get it to switch round. Okay, it's refusing to switch around. I think my mouse is running out of battery. Sorry, folks. But yeah, this should switch around to fixed manual or fixed attack and release. So you don't really have to worry about these guys over here. Variable, fast, and slow attack and release. Very cool. High pass filter. And then, of course, you've got the VT1, which is very nice. Again, variable ratio 1:4. And variable fast and slow attack. I like this compressor. I've used this on vocals a fair bit. It sounds really great, particularly on female vocals. Use this. Alright, so let's move on to EQs. And I'm going to try and get through this relatively quickly because I think the battery on my mouse is dying. So, sorry about that. So we get the passive. We've had that for a little while. And the vintage. We get this Alpine. This is very cool. 3-band EQ. Nice little selector notches, 50 to 400, 400 to 5K, and then 6 to 15, and there's your plus minus 12 dB gains. All very cool. And then you got this guy here, this Baxendale EQ, and this basically gives you a high shelf, a low shelf, and high cut and a low cut, and then you've got low and mid frequencies in the middle here. So you can plus minus these shelves. So very, very cool shelving EQ. And we get, as I say, the RC500, 3-band EQ. Then the Solar 69. We get a low cut, bass frequency, high pass filter kind of thing going on there. Even gives you a little notch here to say it's flat. And then you get a mid, and then you get a 10K boost or cut here as well. Very cool. And then you get a level adjust, and you can flip the phase on this one. Onto the tube. This is like a mid-range EQ. So you get sweepable low 0 to 10, mid frequency and high frequency, and then you get these peaks, and you get this dip one as well. 0.2 to 7. This one I've not really had a chance to have much of a look at to see what it does, but it's a GBQ. I like GBQs in general. I just haven't really had much of a chance to play with this one. But those that I know that have played with it, they love this one. So next one, the vintage 3-band EQ. And you get a choice of shelving, notching in the middle here. And you also get a high cut as well, and your variable selectors here as well. And you get a high Q button as well, very handy, so you can set the Q for your notch. You can have it tight or you can have it narrow, and you can turn that off as well. And you can set this. Wow, my mouse is really having not a good day today. I can't seem to move this very much. Okay, I think my mouse is absolutely dying a death. So we'll look at the VT1 to finish, which is a standard 3-band EQ. Sorry, 4-band EQ, going from 20 to 20K, and you can have high peaks, low peak as well. And this comes, as I say, as part of the VT1 channel strip in the channel strip collection. Alright folks, I'm sorry to have to kind of cut this and run and not really go into a whole lot of detail, but I am going to make some follow-up videos which will go into each one of these compressors and EQs in a little bit more detail, and I will fix my mouse before I make the next video so that we don't have any issues with trying to turn any of the knobs. Alright, so thanks for watching, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. That would be a fantastic thing to do, because then that means you know when the next video is coming out. And you can also check out all the range of other videos that I've got here on my YouTube channel. Also, there's a link in the description there to go and sign up for my email list. I provide a whole bunch of content there that I don't post on my website or on YouTube or anywhere else. And you also get to hear news about new features of my website, such as my up-and-coming VIP members area, and any other new products that I make, you guys on the email list will get the heads up before anybody else. So thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video soon. Bye for now.